Hello, everyone. I'm going to read another book for you today. Let me show you the one I have for you today. This one is called Peanut Learns to Swim. Written and illustrated by Holly Jenkins Williams. Today was the day. Peanut had been begging Pops to sign her up for swimming lessons. Pops had promised her he would at the beginning of the summer. He took her to buy a new bathing suit, an inner tube, and a new swimming mask with a detachable snorkeling tube. She was very excited about learning to swim and couldn't wait for her first lesson. However, it did not go at all the way she had imagined. The water in the indoor pool was so cold. Peanut's mask kept slipping off when she would try and jump in, and she had wanted to blow up the float all by herself, but it was too difficult. Peanut was having a very bad day, and all she wanted to do was sit alone and pout. Pops tried to talk to Peanut whenever she was having a bad day. He told her that it is important to try and explain how you feel and what it is that is bothering you, even if this is sometimes difficult to do. Peanut seemed to be frustrated with everything. She did not want to play any of her favorite games or participate in any of her favorite activities. Peanut was too upset. Every time that something was not just as she had expected it to be, all she felt that she could do was yell and cry. This was very difficult for her friends to understand. They did not want to hear Peanut crying and screaming. It was very loud and very frustrating. Farrah the frog tried to encourage Peanut to take a deep breath. She filled up her lungs to exhale and show Peanut how it could help her calm down. But Peanut wouldn't listen. Carl the caterpillar tried to explain that sometimes counting to 10 helped him relax whenever he was upset. He began counting with his feet to help Peanut, but she just screamed louder. One day, Peanut could not get her sock to fit correctly on her foot. She became so angry that she tossed her shoe across the floor. Glenn, the mouse, tried to ask her what the problem was. But Peanut would not stop crying long enough to explain. Suddenly, her tears began to fill the room. She was so focused on being upset that she did not notice Glenn, who was desperately clinging to one of her flip-flops so that he did not fall into the rising water. As the water reached her shoulders, she opened her eyes and stopped crying just in time to see Glenn slip from the shoe and sink down into the deep sea of tears. "Oh no, Glenn," Peanut shouted. She knew she had to save him. She took a deep breath before she dove beneath the surface, kicking and paddling with her legs and arms as she searched frantically for her friend. Glenn had sunk almost all the way to the bottom, but Peanut scooped him up and swam back to the surface. "Peanut, you swam," Glenn said proudly after he spit out a mouthful of water. "I did," she exclaimed happily. "But more importantly, you put your problems aside to help someone else," he said proudly. "No problem is more important than our friendship," Peanut said as she gave Glenn a big hug. "I am glad," Glenn agreed. "Maybe now it will be easier for you to express your feelings and problems." "I will certainly try," Peanut promised. The water began to drain out the windows, pouring over the steps and swirled away down into the drains on the streets below. That evening, Peanut explained to Pops all about her mask filling with water, the pool water being cold, and all the other problems she was having that week that were making it difficult to have fun. The next day, at her swimming lesson, Pops helped her tighten the strap on her mask and pulled her hair back into a ponytail so that it did not make her feel as cold when she got out of the pool. Peanut had so much fun at the pool that day. From then on, she always tried to explain her problems instead of just getting upset. It wasn't always easy to know exactly what was bothering her, but together, she and Pops were almost always able to find a solution. Here's a recipe for swimming shrimp chowder. Some celery and onion, a little bit of olive oil, some diced tomatoes with basil and garlic and oregano, some shrimp, whipping cream, a little bit of water and some pepper and even fresh basil. Interesting. Maybe I'll try that sometime.